The Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Geisler.
Here.
Housechild.
Here.
Nelson.
Here.
Peterson.
Here.
Mayor Boucher.
Here. Are there any announcements from counselors?
No announcements for me.
Just a reminder to anyone online, you still have until midnight to pay your property taxes. I got mine in this afternoon. We have no public hearings, no communications. Mr. Mulder, are we going to have a short presentation on the audit?
Mr. Orm's going to give us a brief update on that or report.
Kevin?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Tonight we had Clifton Larson Allen, the city's auditors, here at pre-agenda, and they gave us a PowerPoint presentation. They also presented the audit booklet. This was in your packet in PDF format and is currently on the website for anyone who wants to take a look at it at any point in time. They did a nice little PowerPoint presentation tonight, which I'll just briefly recap. They audited our books again for the second time. They're a large firm out of Minneapolis. They gave us an unmodified or clean opinion for our 2020 audit. They didn't find any material weaknesses. They didn't find any significant deficiencies, and they had no legal compliance findings. They reported on our general fund, which is our largest and main fund. They reported that our revenues were above budget. Our expenditures were below our amended budget. Therefore, we had a $570,000 increase in our fund balance in the general fund. That's a good thing. It's a good thing in any year, especially the year we just went through. So because of that, we have about 7.7 months of cash that could be used towards expenditures, and they charted that for us. They then went through our water and sewer funds. Both of those funds had an operating surplus. That's if we saw from the graph, that's not always the case. Sewer fund, this was actually the first year we had a operating surplus in the last 5-6 years, as you can see on the graph that they presented to us in pre-agenda. They talked about our city debt. The city has about 35 million in debt at the end of 2020. And then they just thanked us at the end, and they said they were happy to work with us, and overall it was a very clean audit. It's very nice to see them in person. It's a lot of work to audit any time, and even more so remotely. And I'd just like to thank Dana, our city accountant, is really partners with me, and she's a CPA, and she's done a wonderful job with us. And so the audit went very well. Any questions on this book, our financials, or anything the auditors said, I'd be happy to answer.
Any questions from council?
Just for me, can we get a copy of that presentation? Maybe put that on the website as well. That was a nice, quick little snapshot that might be a little bit more interesting for people to look at rather than that whole great big.
Yeah, let me just reach out to them and make sure that they're okay with us putting it on the website. And if so, then I'll give that to Joe Wickland.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Oh, just good job, Joe, as always. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Great job.
And to your team.
And to Kevin too.
Yeah.
And to
To
Kevin.
Joe. Did I call you Joe?
You can call me Joe. I'll be Joe for tonight. Not
It's
everyone.
It's a large.
Gracious.
You are
Joe's out.
you are-
And Kevin.
you are a decade older.
It's the 50 thing. Okay, I'm sorry, Kevin. My gosh.
Thank you. And now we have time for public discussion. If there's any member of the public online or in the council chambers that wishes to address the council, please start with your name and address. Is there any public discussion this evening? If there is none, we will move on to the consent agenda. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Housechild. Roll call, please.
Counselor Housechild.
Aye.
Nelson.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Geisler.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. We have no motions or ordinances tonight. Resolutions, Resolution 2021-58. Resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and city clerk to execute and deliver a First Amendment to the development agreement with KTJ 360 LLC.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder?
We'll have Mr. Johnson explain this one.
Eric?
Great, thank you very much. This First Amendment, it outlines the responsibilities of the developer in regarding the payment of the public water main associated with the Pillars property. It also amends the requirement payment date associated with park dedication, and it identifies letter of credit amounts for both the landscape installation as well as the stormwater improvements associated with the property. The developer is anticipating to start within the next 1 to 2 years. They're still working on different site elements and look forward to starting and keep working with the city.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments from council? Are there any members of the public that wish to have input on this matter? If so, please state your name and address. Is there any public input on Resolution 2021-58? Could we have a roll call, please?
Counselor Nelson. Aye. Peterson,
Aye.
Geisler,
Aye.
Housechild.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2021-58, resolution approving a grant contract agreement between the city of Hermantown and Mediacom Minnesota LLC and authorizing and directing the mayor and city clerk to execute and deliver such grant agreement on behalf of the city of Hermantown.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Counselor Nelson, second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder?
So this is the grant agreement that we've discussed earlier with Mediacom. And it's a match of about $38,000, give or take, with the money that they'll invest and the money that they receive from the state of Minnesota to expand internet and broadband in the western part of the city. It'll be along Arrowhead and Midway, Jane Bard, and in that general area, Hagberg, that general area. That work is scheduled for sometime between now and December 31st of 2022. It might get done before that.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from council? Is there any public input on this resolution? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Is there any public input on the grant contract agreement with Mediacom LLC? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Geisler,
Aye.
Housechild.
Aye.
Nelson. Aye. Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2021-60, resolution approving a request for proposals for design inspection and construction engineering services for Highway 53 Water Tower reconditioning. Do we have a
So
motion?
moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Housechild, second by Counselor Peterson. Mr. Mulder?
So we're scheduled to recondition the Highway 53 water tower next year. But we want to get an engineer on board now to start preparing those plans and specs, and so we can put that out to bid early on.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council?
Mm-mm.
And that was an interior coating and exterior coating for that reconditioning. As opposed to the last time that was just interior coating and exterior cleaning. Any other comments or questions? Is there any public input on the resolution to approve an engineering RFP for the Highway 53 water tower reconditioning? Last call for public input on resolution 2021-60. If you have any input, please state your name and address for the record. Roll call, please.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Housechild.
Aye.
Nelson. Aye. Peterson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. And do we have a motion for recess?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Housechild, second by Counselor Peterson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
10 minutes.
You're a good luck